Is it true that you are not fond of this woman?
Well, the second she was brought into my life, she was kind of trying to act as my stepmother, and I didn't really feel like we met eye to eye on anything, and she's verbally accosted me before.
Whoa. Okay. Hold on. Miss Dixon, how old are you, ma'am?
I'm 25.
Okay, so you are an adult in your own right. You're an adult in your own right, about 10 years older. How long have you been dating the defendant's father?
About 2 years.
Oh, so this was a very serious relationship.
Oh, yes, very serious.
Very serious. Okay. And did you two get along in the beginning?
No.
So from day one, it was not good?
No, I tried my best to be a friend to her, not a mother, but a friend. Mm-hmm. And she just would not have it.
Is that true, Miss Dixon?
I don't think so. No.
Had you been friendly with girlfriends before the plaintiff?
Well, my dad's never really introduced me to many of his girlfriends. I think we both kind of try and keep our dating life separate. We're close, but, you know, we don't really step into those boundaries. And he was kind of really trying to push this relationship on me, even though I told him I was uncomfortable about it. I had lost my mom when I was 12, and, yeah, that's still been difficult for me. I go to therapy, but it's so hard.
I'm sorry to hear that. So talk to me about why you were buying her a cake to begin with, ma'am.
Well, it was just a grand gesture, to be honest. It was a $350 cake, so I wasn't.
Expensive for a cake.
Yeah.
So this was for her birthday, you said?
Yes, her 25th.
Okay, and so you thought it would be a kind gesture to buy her a birthday cake. Was it a party? Was it some scenario?
Yes, it was her birthday party.
Okay.
Just a couple of her girlfriends, her uncle, her aunts.
Were you invited to the party?
I was, yes.
Oh, you invited her to the party?
I didn't invite her, no. My father said he wanted to throw my birthday party for me, and usually my friends throw my party, but I wanted him to be involved. And then he told me she was going to be buying my birthday cake, which sounded a bit bizarre to me.
So you were going to be there with at the request of the father, who really was throwing the party?
Yes.
So you thought, let me not show up empty-handed. Let me make a kind gesture.
Yes.
Do you take it as that at all?
Well, I find it odd that someone's extending an olive branch and on the cake is a photo of my mom and I.
Oh.
And so when she gave it to me, of course, I freaked out a little bit, understandably so, because birthdays are hard enough for me.
Yeah. Miss Chambers, now come on now. Court was willing to give you some leeway here around the gesture piece, but a photo of this young lady who tragically lost her mother at 12 years old would be very triggering to anybody. What were you thinking?
To be honest, it wasn't just me who was thinking about that. It was her father who prompted it.
Okay. Is he here today in court?
No.
That's terribly inconvenient for you, ma'am, because now you're going to be the one responsible. Do you have a photo of the cake or anything that I could see?
I don't know.
Okay. Do you have any evidence for the court?
I do.
Please give your whole folder to my bailiff so I can take a look.
It's the invoice.
Okay. So this is the receipt showing what you paid for the cake.
Yes.
Okay, I do see an invoice here. And it does indicate, though, on the invoice that the pic was of the mom and daughter on the cake. So what she's saying is accurate. You did indeed pay $350 for the cake. So what happened to the cake, ma'am?
I set it down, and immediately when she saw it, she grabbed it, squeezed it, dropped it on the table, and then swiped it off completely. Onto the ground, onto the wall.
Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. That is Carl Jung. Is the new girlfriend paying the price? Is the daughter judging the woman for who she is or for what she represents? The girlfriend didn't cause the tragedy. She also didn't erase the mother's place in the daughter's life. So the hardest part, it seems, is separating the person from what they represent. It's possible to empathize with the daughter's pain while still observing that the girlfriend may have become an unfair target. So, if not now, when? At what point was the dad supposed to move on? As I've gotten older, I realize grief doesn't have a finish line, but neither does life. Moving forward doesn't necessarily mean leaving someone behind. So can a child accept that a parent is moving forward without feeling like they're replacing a parent who passed away? The dad deserves to be happy again, and that should not be contingent on when the daughter decides. I believe the biggest thing we can offer other people is grace. Grace from the new girlfriend to the daughter, but also grace from the daughter to the new girlfriend. We all deserve it. let's keep going.
You were very upset, very triggered, and you just essentially trashed the cake.
If I may tell my side of the story.
Go ahead.
When I get to this birthday party, it's covered in unicorns and rainbows, and it looks like it's a party decorated for like
a
6-year-old, 12-year-old. It was so embarrassing and not appropriate at all. And the first person I see is her standing there smiling at me like an insane person. So I'm like, oh, she's the one responsible for this decoration.
Okay.
And I go inside, I see like a couple of my friends. Then it all starts to go awry when they bring out the cake and she's singing to me, and I see the cake come in front of me and this candle is like dripping wax onto my mother's face. And it's like getting all messed up, and I start breathing a bit heavy, and I try and like practice this breathing technique, but it was just not working, and I start having an asthma attack and just lose it a bit because I like can't breathe, and I may have accidentally dropped the cake over a couple feet and it may have like fallen upside down, and by that point I'm fainting and my dad catches me and then we have to go to the hospital.
What?
Yes, and then in the hospital they gave me tests for like my lungs, and they said it was a stress-induced attack, and
A
then
panic attack, basically.
A panic attack, and then I was out of work for a week. So not only did I have to pay for the medical charges, but I also lost the wages that I would have made at work. And
do you have documentation of that, ma'am?
I do,
okay.
ma'am.
Elijah,
Yes.
please confiscate her folder as well. Thank you.
So it was just a really traumatic way to start my 25th year here on Earth.
Thank you.
All thanks to her.
Okay, so I am seeing that you have provided, that you paid $300 for urgent care, and then you also, the remaining part of your $1,100 claim is the lost wages?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I will tell you, Ms. Dixon, I have a lot of empathy and compassion for what you've shared with us today in court. I don't know that I believe that there was an accidental dropping of the cake. I think that per the plaintiff's testimony, you were very upset, very triggered. I would say rightfully so, quite frankly, with an image of your deceased mother on such an important special day for you. And I believe that you intentionally damaged the cake. Where is your father in all this, ma'am? And I actually really am disappointed he's not in court today, because it sounds like he's got a lot of explaining to do.
Right.
But I certainly don't know why he would have encouraged, let alone allow, for you to present a cake with such a traumatic image on it. Ma'am, I understand you're talking about he was a part of it, but where was your common sense?
I was honestly just grasping at straws to please her, and he said
So you thought it would be pleasing to anybody on any day, let alone their 25th birthday, to see an image of their deceased mother on a cake, ma'am? Come on.
To be quite honest.
Please be honest. You're under sworn testimony. Please.
I mean, if I disliked her and wanted her to be angry, I wouldn't have spent $350.
It's not about disliking her, ma'am. I don't think that you have any reason to dislike her. I just don't know where the common sense of reasonable judgment is on your part. Would you want that? If it were you, would you find that pleasing? Would that bring you joy on your birthday to see you and your deceased mother while your father is sitting here parading his new love interest in front of your face? I don't think that this young lady is done grieving the loss of her mother. She's clearly sitting in this courtroom brokenhearted today.
I mean, it's been like...
I'm not talking to you, Miss Chambers. I'm talking about what I see in front of my eyes. And she could have died 12 years ago. She could have died 2 years ago. She could have died 20 years ago. Everybody has their own grieving process. And I appreciate that you told the court, ma'am, that you have and are in therapy. But it seems there's still more work to do. Would you agree?
I agree. I think that every day I'm grieving and trying to learn to be whole again.
Yeah, she's sad, ma'am. She's sad. She's brokenhearted. And I am sorry for you for that. And I wish you all the healing that your heart can hold as it relates to the loss of your mother.
I believe that grief and perception go hand in hand. Grief can color our perception. The girlfriend to me was trying to make a kind gesture. Depending on the person, they may have looked at it and felt honored to have someone care about her and someone she deeply loved and their relationship. Some people would look at the photo and hold on to it and feel warmed by it because it is a reminder of the person that they loved. Possibly one of the only things they have left of that person. In this case, while we can't determine for sure, one could observe that she is avoiding triggers to cope with the loss. And when I think of grief in my own life, I always go back to the phrase, grief is just love with nowhere to go. And the amount of grief we're dealing with is the measure of our capacity to love.
Ma'am, Ms. Chambers, you have every right to move on romantically with her father or anybody you so choose. But I do find that your handling of this situation lacked couth, sound judgment, and reasonable behavior. You admitted to this court that it's never been a good dynamic between the two of you. And so I would think that the last thing you would invoke under any circumstance, daddy or no daddy, is her dead mother, when we already know she's struggling. You can see it. Just look at her. So this court does rule in favor of the defendant on the first claim. So the plaintiff's claim for $350 for this cake is dismissed. As to this countersuit, ma'am, I am satisfied by the medical bill that I do believe, but for this very triggering, inappropriate cake, I don't think that you would have had this panic attack, and I don't think that you would have incurred this bill. However, these lost wages, I am more skeptical about. You have not included any evidence to give me any indication of what you make and what you got to do to make it. So I'm not able to consider that. So I ruled in favor of the defendant and her counterclaim, but only for $300. I wish you healing, ma'am. That is my ruling.
For me, I don't believe that grief ever goes away, but it's something that we can carry, that we can allow to mold us in a way that brings positive change to the world, or even just the people around us. So the moral of the story, healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means learning to carry your loss without letting it define every new chapter. Let's do better by leading with empathy instead of assumptions. Now, my final question for you. At what point do you think a surviving spouse should be allowed to move on after losing their partner? Put your answers in the comments. And as always, thank you for watching. Make sure to like, follow, and share. And I will see you again soon.